Hello, Taurus. Welcome. This is the Feminine Inquisition. My name is Tiffany, and we're doing your reading. This is for 2026 at a glance, and we will get a sense of what it is that your fire horse is working towards. Now, 2025 was a 9-year, and it was also the year of the wood snake, which means that it was quite challenging and very transformative. So there were a lot of things that you had to break through, a lot of dead bits of old patterns, old sense of self, old ideas, old people that maybe you were connected to that you had to transition and move away from. As we move into the fire horse, I'll be asking questions about exactly what your fire horse looks like, if you're able to mount it successfully, as well as what the speed is, the general direction that you may be heading into. And yeah, I mean, fire horse is not exactly within your wheelhouse, I don't think. I mean, if there's a sign that's very far from Taurus, it would be Sagittarius. And so, yeah, we'll just tap in. We'll use the Akashic Tarot to learn what's in the field for you, which of course can be written or rewritten with free will. Please feel free to write in the comments for me what 2025 was like. I'll also be using the Sibylle Oracle to get some feelers and the Lenormands, right? And the Tarot. So let's just see what's in the field for you, Taurus, for 2026. Can you show me what's available as is? For Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising. Thank you. Okay, I've got the bird's nest. And so, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of difficult. Yeah, the bird's nest. There is bright, shining light, and there is a butterfly in the background. And there's a lot of responsibility, right? There are 3 baby birds inside that nest. And the ascent is at the bottom of the deck, which says that your determination is needed now. For whatever goal it is that you're working towards, now is the time to put in 110%. And that is what it's like to be the caretaker of a family, to build a nest, right? Even before the babies come, you put everything that you can into what it means to craft this nest so that they are safely in a secure place, right? Everything is chosen. Interesting. Okay, so your fire horse is onwards and upwards, going to some big goal, some ambitious place, some thought that maybe you've had for some time. I don't know. We'll take a closer look at what the ascent is going to be speaking about, but I know that currently you're in expansion and responsibility with this bird's nest here. So you're expanding into a direction that could have to do with the home that's very like you, that could have to do with the family that's very like you. But this is about also individuation, right? So there is a pinnacle, a high point that you're trying to get to, a goal that you want to reach in 2026. So let's get into it. Hi, Crystal, and we'll learn what we can. So yeah, for 2026, we're trying to learn the direction of where your fire horse is taking you to, and this bird's nest shows that it's of great responsibility and expansion. Can I have some more on that? You could be pregnant. You could be thinking about children. You could be thinking about how you're going to manage this conversation with your relationship, about how you want to be a parent, whether you're male or female. Maybe it seems like it's a very hard conversation to have. Perhaps you both work, and so it's difficult to understand, like, how are we gonna manage this? It's a lot of responsibility. It's more than we want to take on at this time. A sincere friend, being responsible and expanding with the help of a sincere friend. The consultant, so this consultant card in this deck is about the person that we're speaking on. So that's a masculine, if I'm connecting to masculine Tauruses, or the masculine itself is a sincere friend. I have right here. Like I said, there's something about this ascent which is quite scary. to get to this place to talk about the responsibility that may come from whatever this expansion is in the family. It's it is a sincere effort, but perhaps it is met with a very severe answer, right? There are people, Taurus, you're one of these people who love to say no before yes. So let's just pull some tarot and see if we can get specifics on this Three of Forces, this bird's nest. What is the great expansion, the responsibility? What is the big ascent? What are you climbing to? What's your goal for 2026? You're one of the signs that have not talked to me about 2025. Although it was a challenging year for many, I haven't seen that in the cards, which means for me that you're hopeful. There you are, standing in your power. Hello. And you've got a partnership that's in your midst, in your grip. Temperance is here. The experience that you are having with them as you continue to grow is a blessing. And you guys are sharing this kind of a way in which you are enthusiastic for whatever it is that comes on your path. And this is a shared energy. All of this is about equal reciprocity. So much of the responsibility is one that is shared because you feel both committed to it. There's a high faith in which you are both invested in this partnership. Furthermore, you are tempering your spirit for what it is that the other needs from you, right? When someone is scared, when someone is in need, you will be strong, you will be brave, and vice versa. The Page of Wands is here, open to receive what it is in this divine communication, right? This card is all about a shared responsibility. You see, their arms aren't interlocked, but in many of the drawings you will see that. And that's because if anyone let go, the whole card will fall apart. And we can see that in the spiral. This is the caduceus of the snake, the divine feminine and masculine wrapping around. Now, here, there's great passion, there's great enthusiasm. Again, you have the Knight and the Page of Wands for whatever this next endeavor may be. So this expansion has to do with the commitment and faith in your marriage, in your union, in your partnership, in your relationship. And you're transmuting, moving from one experience to another, tempering your spirit. So yes, maybe there was individuation, maybe there still needs to be individuation, but the two of you can be the light of the world. And this is change. This is the major arcana in this deck. This is like the synonymous to the Wheel of Fortune, to bring change about. I keep on getting the feeling that there is a baby fever here. That is this, that's the idea. Now, this sincere friend is here. Now, I don't know, maybe you know someone who's had a baby, maybe you spent some time in the holidays with someone and their baby, and so it's given you this kind of feeling like, you know what, I can do that, we can do that, or together collectively you said, you know, we can incorporate something new here. Can I have some information on this sincere friend? So it's the storks. I mean, you just can't make that up. So storks, of course, we know are familiar for us in context of the bringing of a baby. But also this card is about mutation, and love is mutation, adaptability and change and swift movement. And maybe also travel. Perhaps you did travel to go see whomever it was that you were with and engaging in what change they were dealing with in their life, either related to family, related to children. I don't know. I want to bring your attention to the fact that the Queen of Hearts is motherly, like Queen of Cups, all about nurturing. Furthermore, it's the 17. This is one, you standing before 7, the development of the self. So this speaks to really nurturing whatever the next path, vision, and goal of this relationship may be. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the ascent now. Can I have 4 cards for the ascent? Let's see if this is in line with expansion in the family or if this is something else entirely, right? This is a year at a glance. So show me 4 cards for Taurus for this ascent. Okay. 6 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So this is a moment of transition. This may be later in the year. This is about you ascending, climbing to this high place, which, it will require a lot, which is why we see mental disturbance. There's a lot of anguish here that you want to get there, but it's hard. You want to do it together, but it's hard. It should look a certain way, but it's hard. So there's a lot of mental anguish for what your heart had put energy towards to reach this high place. The High Priestess, you are spiritually endowed, gifted, blessed, and feel that this is exactly what you need to be doing. You're really guided here, but so much of your power is relinquished. This is the moon in Libra, so there's a lot of unknown that creates fears. This is also Saturn in Libra. So it's interesting because Libra is trying to balance things out. And we have 3 Libran cards here. We know Libra is a sister sign for you in the sense that Venus rules both you and Libra. You could be dealing with a Libra. You could have Libra in your chart. There is a huge sense of pressure for fairness, for justice, for security. And this is the rigidity of needing that shelter, of needing that security. But when you do things like this, security is not number one, adventure is. Facing fears is. That's what this card is. It looks like death, but it's fright. And so look, right after fear is success and love and a child, infantilism. So I think that this message is clear in the sense that your fears start to play with what kind of courage your heart can have. Don't go silent on yourself and stay tapped in for what your spiritual ascent is here, what your spiritual responsibility is here, the light of the world coming through you, right? Okay. Now, there's 2 Libra cards. One is like a blindedness. You have to choose. You have to make a choice. Just like these 2 parts of this scale will balance, which is heavier, which is lighter. But you can't because you cannot see anything. And you imagine that you could feel which sword is the right way to go. But actually, all the emotions, the water, your sensory way in which you feel is behind you. So you have your back turned to your emotions, and justice is demanding action, which is why there is the 6 of Swords here. So you move, you make a move. You make a move into a direction. I have the Ace of Pentacles now, followed by the 2 of Wands. So there's huge preparation and planning for the future. Let's get a Lenormand for this justice because I think it's very important. So it's not necessarily that it's not a marriage, right? Because we have the Hierophant here, the 2 of Cups here. And maybe in this process of talking about a baby, marriage comes up, and maybe that scares someone. Let's learn. Show me the justice, please. Can I see the justice? The Clover. This is opportunity. This is luck. This is a gift. This is a blessing with the Fox. And so you want to be clever about how you make this bargain, how you play this little gamble. Something about you feels as though you don't want to make the wrong decision, which is fear. I'm going to ask the tarot what you're scared about. I think it's your security. I think it's about the adaptation and the change that will be necessary for whatever it is that this expansion in the family brings. But just don't forget, you have Temperance here. Then you're here. You showed me the Page of Wands, which is the excitement, the openness. Don't forget that. Fear will close you off. Rigidity will close you off. Saturn in Libra, thinking that something should be one way, will close you off. The fear, the planning, the preparation, the loss, feeling separate, the slow recovery, the slow buildup, the coin, the stability of the coin, as well as the Ace of Cups. Can you be afraid of how much you might love something? Is that what you're saying? You feel as though you're maybe not soft enough. Libra, again, with this card. Maybe you feel that you worry you're not soft enough with your words. You're not nurturing enough. And so you're trying to prepare everything else, and worried that your heart just might explode, and then maybe you won't be able to do the rest of the things that are required for this expansion for your family. But the Four of Wands is here. This is the portal. This is how you jump timelines. This is how you make it. There is healing for whatever it is that you experience from your parents, right? Some wounds that you have with your mother, with your father, with your grandmother, with your aunt, etc. And that doesn't just go for you, but you and your partner. Whatever you've built up in your conditioned mind that maybe you don't know how to be a good parent or a good nurturing or a good environment for a child to learn, to live, to play, because what you weren't given, you're healing that too. That cracks you open. It is, in fact, what you went through that gives you everything you need to know about how to enter this harmony. Your partnership is super solid. So if you're not in a partnership, this reading may not be for you, and that's okay. But there is a healing journey here of truth, of clarity, of wisdom. And it's not about any doubts that you have. That maybe you feel also you might lose your sharp edge. Yeah. Libra constant. The Libra in this relationship, or the Libran aspects of you, want to know how are you going to balance your independence, your individuation, and also take care of this bird's nest. But it's here, it's available. It's happening whether you like it or not. The harmony is available. You just have to know that you can't know the end of the experience without going through the experience. And you don't need me to tell you that, Taurus, because you love to see things all the way through. Slow, steady, persistent. Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit more information about this Four of Wands. If you can draw any specifics for me about who we're talking about, who you're dealing with, who's involved, anything at all. I love these cards. So let's see what they say. Four of Wands, please. For Taurus, for their fire horse, for 2026. Thank you. So I have journey and trap. So also presence is at the bottom of the deck. And so it is a trap for you to imagine that anything but being present is what's needed from you. This Four of Wands is a support system that you need to go through. You are not yet complete with it. You have not denied it. You need to experience it. And the fear of it being a trap is, normal, human, but the guidance is to stay present. Stay present to it. That is the beauty of it. I mean, you cannot expedite getting to this height of this mountain, right? The process needs to be lived through. We're going to pull one more Akashic Tarot and then advice. Can I see what's in the field for after, mid-journey? If you hear my cat, sorry. The two of them are playing on top of the refrigerator. So that's a perfect place to play. So mid-journey for Taurus, please. Mid-journey of their fire horse 2026. Mid-year. Mid-journey in this process for Taurus. Spring and autumn. So the ascent is still at the bottom of the deck. This is what you're on. You cannot change this. The 1 and 7, as I showed you before, hold on. 1, 7, Queen of Hearts, and the Storks. This is the 7. This is the development. You cannot make this up. You stand here going through this shift, going through this change, recognizing that you are not standing here as an edgy, cold, truth-telling, however you perceive yourself. You're also a nurturing, a nurturing home, a bird's nest for this expansion. That can also be a truth of who you are. So 4 of Forces in reverse. So this is spring and autumn. Okay. And so in autumn, it does require more work from you because it's the harvest. And that's what you're going through. This is the expansion, the coming of fruit, the fruit of your labor, the birthing, right? When a seed breaks open, it has everything it needs already inside of it. All of the information, all of the intelligence, all of the respect and the honoring of the trees that came before it, that spread seeds so that now it can do the same thing. This is your journey. I'm going to pull some advice and we will close out the reading for your fire horse. Your fire horse is your horse. Your fire horse is also climbing, going to great heights. And I think in autumn, it's going to be very specific for you. Something about, of course, spring, because that's what this card marks, but also in the fall, perhaps Leo season, Virgo season, there's going to be a chance for you to get either a culmination, more information about how the progress is for what this expansion is. If it's not a baby, you're birthing something else, but it definitely has to do with your family unit. It definitely has to do with your relationship, your love. It definitely scares you, and it brings you to a new place in you of being a nurturing, loving home for something or someone. Okay, advice for Taurus, please. What does Taurus need to know for final advice? Thank you. Ace of Wands, the moon. Do not be scared of the depths. Do not be scared of your depths. Imagine this is a torch of light, and you're going to take this into the underbelly, into the subconscious. Do not be scared of what is here, what you have been through in your childhood. Do not be scared of what it is that you may have hidden even from yourself. This is bridging the gap of your dark and your light. And when you do that, you fall away from whatever stress, worry, and anxiety you have. Okay? I congratulate you if you are planning on expanding your family. 2026 will be a beautiful year for a brand new addition to you and yours, okay? And so, yeah, I wish you a beautiful year. I must see you again soon. Happy New Year. Love and peace. Ciao.